Hey, Tony Gaskins here. On the topic of today, wanted to pop in really quick and shoot a live. And I know it's a lot of people at work, but I kind of shoot the live just so to make it a way for me to record this. So I'm not ever really expecting anybody to show up on the live. So just understand that when I'm shooting it. But the topic of today is closure. A young lady asked me, Tony, can you talk about closure and how it hinders us from moving on in our relationships? And it hit me because I hadn't really thought about that, but I noticed that a lot in my line of work as a relationship coach. I'm oftentimes talking to clients about closure. And I haven't really had experience with a man or multiple men, like countless men wanting closure from a relationship. But I have dealt with countless women wanting closure from a relationship, and I want to explain to you why. So, this is the thing when it comes to closure, and this is the truth about closure. So, in a perfect world, you would like to sit down and talk to a man and say, hey, you know, please tell me how you feel, what you're thinking, and why you don't want this relationship. What is the reason that you don't want this relationship? What is the reason that you don't want to be with me and that you can't see a future for us? In a perfect world, that's what you would want. And in that, you would want this man to open up and just pour out his heart and say, the reason why that I can't see a future with us is because. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes a man has come to the place in his life where he is mature, he is no bull crap, he's serious about life, he thinks about what he's sowing and knows that that determines what he will reap. And that man can sit there and articulate himself and express to you why the relationship can't work. The other part about this is that is not common and that does not oftentimes happen. And so here's the reason why. The reason why it does not oftentimes happen where you get closure from a relationship is because most men do not want to close the relationship. Most men don't want to give you closure because he wants to leave the door open to come back in your life. And that's what most women don't understand is that a man, for the most part, is flying by the seat of his pants. He doesn't fully know what he wants in a woman and what he's looking for, but he has a sense and he has a belief that when he sees her, he will know she's the one, that he will know this is what I'm looking for. So, what men do oftentimes is go through a relationship, nitpicking, looking for an excuse, looking for a reason to say you're not the one. If he finds any kind of reason, or even if he doesn't find that reason, but on the side while he's weighing his options and he's looking at other women, and this is what happens most of the time. There are exceptions to the rule. On the side while he's dealing with these other women, and when I say dealing with these other women, it doesn't mean that you all don't live together. It doesn't mean that you're not fully in a relationship. It doesn't mean that you're not married. You could be in a relationship, living together. You could be all the way in. And a man could be talking to women at his job or talking to women in the Facebook inbox from college or from high school or Instagram or any kind of social media, Snapchat, where he can make it disappear. So he may be talking to other women and building a friendship with them very slowly. And because he's building on friendship and not on physical intercourse, he may start to like this woman more than he likes you. And so, with that, that man, if he has not fully matured, which is the case for a lot of men, he will start to sabotage the relationship instead of just saying, listen, I'm not really all that into you, and I can't be all that into you because I'm into this other woman or these other women. Instead of saying that, he will start to sabotage the relationship, and he'll be rude, he'll be condescending, he'll be short, he'll be distant, he'll just do little stuff. He'll be argumentative, he'll be controlling, disrespectful. And what he's trying to do in all of this is make you angry enough to leave. And the reason why he's trying to make you angry enough to leave is because he doesn't want it to be on his conscience that he left. So think about this, and some of you have been through this, and if you have, put your story in the comments so people can know that I'm not crazy, where you going through a relationship and then all of a sudden the man starts sabotaging the relationship and being rude and nasty and short and distant and condescending, trying to push you away, and then finally you find yourself in a corner and you're like, look, if I'm going to respect myself at all, I got to move on with my life. So you move on with your life, and then the next thing you know, you look up, maybe a week, a month, 2 months, you find out that he's with another woman. He's dealing with another woman. And then you're like, whoa, what's going on? And in some of those cases, he may still be reaching out to you. Hey, how are you? Hey, was thinking about you. And you're like, what? Hold on. You pushed me away. Like, you moved on. Like, you with another woman. Why are you writing me? And so he'll do that. And you're like, wow. And where a lot of women find themselves at is like, I want to sit down with this man and have a closure conversation. And that's where you go wrong. Wanting to have closure and seeking closure and asking for closure and waiting on closure and begging for closure and expecting closure is what keeps you stuck. That is what holds you, what keeps you stuck from learning new knowledge, from growing, from healing, and from being open and aware of other opportunities, other possibilities. So when you are waiting on closure from a man, you or a woman, if it's a man, just invert this information, but it doesn't really apply all the same because women are typically okay with giving closure and having a closure conversation. It's usually men who don't have closure conversations or try to avoid it. So what's happening is it's kind of like you're walking with your eyes closed. So imagine being a woman and you're single, but you don't have closure, but you want closure and you're waiting on closure. You're asking for closure. You're asking or wondering or waiting to meet up at the coffee shop to sit and have this conversation, or at the park, and he's living his life and doing his thing. And you're like, why won't he just tell me why he doesn't want to be with me? Why won't he just tell me? This makes no sense. Why can't he just be mature and just tell me why he doesn't want to be with me? And so what happens is it blocks your receptors of being able to recognize other men. It also puts a fog over you to where you look preoccupied, you look distracted, you look taken. And so as you're meeting other men, as when you shake a hand, when you say hey to a man, when you're dealing with these other guys, they can tell something is not settled within her spirit. Like she feels like, I feel a wall, I feel a block, and a man can sense that. And so in your mind, on one side, you may be telling yourself, okay, if I meet my husband, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to date someone else. But on the other side, you're saying like, I wish I knew why this relationship didn't work out, and I wish I had closure. And so what's happening is you're putting that block up, and the reason why he won't give you closure is because he needs that door to remain open. So picture this. Closure is like a man leaving your home, closing the door, and not just locking it, but changing the locks. That's what closure is. A man not really being clear and straightforward on if he wants to be with you, if he'll ever come back, if he can see you as a wife, but just saying it's not the right time. I don't know. I feel like maybe we'll work in the future, but I need time to grow. I need time to myself. I don't know what I'm feeling. A man who gives you all those excuses, that is equivalent to him leaving your home and leaving the door unlocked or locking it so that no other man can get in but keeping a key. So that is why men don't give women closure on average, typically. There are exceptions to the rule. Some of you have stories, oh, well, my guy gave me closure and we had a great conversation. Good for you. Good for you. Here go a cookie. But that is not how it happens often. And the next thing that goes into this, which probably is a whole nother video, which yeah, let me shoot down another video. So let's just keep it here and understand this. And I'm gonna pop back on live and shoot. Well, I might do that tomorrow. But it just reminded me, I got another video for y'all. Something I created called the Black Book Syndrome. And y'all therapists and y'all counselors, don't try to take that right there. And if you Google it, it's already out there. Somebody heard me said it and put it in a book. But it's what I call the Black Book Syndrome. And that is on the other side. That comes after the no closure man, the man who won't give you closure. So here is the solution to this. Give yourself closure. Stop waiting for permission for closure. Stop waiting for an explanation for closure. Stop waiting to sit down and have coffee or lunch or dinner or to meet up at the park or at your place or at his place to have a closure conversation. Stop waiting on that. And you give yourself closure by saying, listen, if he does not want to be here, I am moving on with my life. If he doesn't want to be with me, be all the way in, not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Be all the way in, be 100% committed, be 100% exclusive to me. I am closing the door and I'm changing the locks so he cannot get back in, and I might even move places so he doesn't even know where I live at. And I'm speaking metaphorically here, but you have to give yourself closure, because truthfully, if a man moves on with his life and he doesn't give you closure verbally, but he's not in your life physically, actively, daily, every day, then that is your closure. That is him telling you, I know you're not the one, but I don't want to tell you that because I want you to stay stuck and stagnant and be confused. Because if I can leave you discombobulated and confused, then I can go and play with her, and her, and see if I like any of them, and if I can build with any of them, see if any one of them jump off the page as my wife. And if one of them jump off the page as my wife, you'll never hear from me again. But if none of them jump off the page as my wife, I will come trickling back in your life. Hey, big head. Hey, miss you. How are you? Hey, what's up? Miss you. Been thinking about you. You think we can get coffee soon? You think we can? You want to get together and go to dinner? Would love to sit and chat with you and catch up. A lot of men will come back like that and act like nothing has happened, and you're like, what in the world? I've been sitting here stressing every day, wondering what this man is doing, wondering why he never told me, why we didn't work out, asking him, begging him for closure, and he's just living his life, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he comes strolling back up, asking, can we go somewhere for coffee? What in the world? And that was all intentional. And the problem with these type of men, and if you're a man and you've gotten to this point of this video, which a lot of men cut this off because just telling too much truth and giving away the game, breaking the man law. But if you're a man and you've gotten to this point, the problem with leaving a woman who's done nothing wrong to you, who nothing is really bad about her, and you know she could be a wife, but you're just being greedy to see if you can get more in a woman, like a woman with bigger this or better that or more this or more that, and you just trying to be greedy, the problem with that is no woman will ever be good enough. And the other problem is that you're creating soul ties with all of these women so that you are incapable of giving one woman 100%. So every woman you meet, you're giving her 50 to 70% at best, 70% at best. So being that you're only giving 70%, you cannot build a real relationship. You cannot build something that is real. So that is why you have to keep going back to your ex, because you have a soul tie and you're not healing the soul tie, breaking the soul tie, working on the soul tie by giving that woman closure, giving yourself closure, and then having a resolve in yourself and getting clarity in yourself of who you are as a man, and what you are looking for in a woman. Instead, you just flying by the seat of your pants and you don't know who you are. So therefore, you don't know who you're really looking for. And so therefore, you can't give anyone 100% of you. So you cannot appreciate and respect when she gives you 100% of her. So now everybody is losing. And you keep getting a piece of these women's heart and dragging their heart along. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna meet your match. This is what's gonna happen. Which I'm gonna have to do this in a whole nother video, because some people read this title might not even get to this part of the video. But what's gonna happen to y'all men that's dragging women's hearts, putting a string around women's heart and dragging it across the concrete and just latching it on to your belt, and you got 10 hearts dragging from your belt, scraping across the concrete and the glass as you going to collect other hearts from other women to latch that on to your belt, because you want notches in your belt, because you still immature, because you still a grown boy, because you're not taking the time to learn, to grow, and to heal. And some of y'all screen record this part right here and send this to your ex, or send this to your situationship that's playing games, so he understand what he needs to do with his life. And so what's going to happen to you, man, is you're going to keep playing around, and then guess what? You're going to meet a savage. You're going to meet a woman who has had enough of men like you. And this woman going to be so seductive and so beautiful and look so perfect, and she going to suck you in. She going to suck you for everything you got. All of your money, your car, your credit, half of everything. She might even let you marry her, with the sole plan that she gonna leave in 5 years with half of you, because she don't want you. She wants somebody else. She want to keep climbing the ladder. And the reason why she is that way is because she's been used, she's been abused, she's been dogged out, she's been mistreated, and now she has adapted to the game. Instead of being a sheep amongst wolves, she's become a wolf, and she's become the biggest, the baddest, and the smartest wolf in the pack, and she's getting ready to devour you, because you actually a sheep in wolf's clothing, and she is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And that's what happened to these men. And you know what's happening? Because of what I just explained, this is what's producing this MGTOW movement. And I don't even know what that stands for. But these men online who seem to be hating women, and they hate women, and they just want to be by themselves, and they want to down marriage and down women, it's because of what I just said. It's because they playing around, going from woman to woman, heart to heart, looking for the wrong things, not knowing who they are, and just looking for a woman for her looks and her beauty and her body, and end up meeting the wrong woman because they're looking for the wrong thing, because they don't know who they are, and then get that woman, and that woman just come and just that woman cheat on them. That woman let him pay for every dinner, let him buy her a car, let him buy a house, then divorce him, and then she get the house in the divorce. So here go this woman who was broke, busted, and disgusted, probably scamming credit cards to look like she was established, probably scamming women, other women online who are not alpha females like her, and taking their money for her fake life coaching and her fake seminars, and taking all their money, and then get this man who looking for the wrong things in a woman and who have dogged out so many good women, and then get this woman, boom, and this woman take him for everything he worth, and then now he come online to join a movement of men hating women because his heart got crushed, because he didn't know who he was, he didn't know what he wanted, and he was looking for women for the wrong reasons and looking for the wrong thing in women. Hey, understand me and feel me on this now. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins, and y'all remember this. Hit the subscribe button. And also, don't get mad at me when I'm be on here posting all these videos, because I got to do it when I can do it. Because sometimes my life hit where I can't post a whole month, but I want to have enough content where if you come looking for me and I'm not here, you done missed 10 videos. So, hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.